We will I will pass the comment cards around and we'll make them official part of the record. At this time, we're going to move to 5A action item. We request that we take 5A through 6 in global. Do we have a motion for that? So moved. Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. In opposition?
I abstain.
We have one extension, Mr. President. Okay. Motion passes. At this time, we'll take, the chair will take a motion to adjourn. Thank you.
Been properly second, we are so adjourned. We will now assemble the meeting of the Board of Supervisors. Properly. At which point in time, Mr. President, I'd like to ask for a roll call vote.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Chancellor.
Here.
Mr. Braxton.
Here.
Attorney Clayton.
Here.
Mr. Diamond. Mr. Fondell.
Here.
Dr. Gaines.
Here.
Reverend Gant. Reverend Henry. Mr. Hilliard.
Here.
Mr. Lawson.
Absolutely.
Attorney McGee.
Here.
Mr. Small. Mr. Meyer. Mrs. Smith. Reverend Colbert. Dr. Whitfield.
Whatever line.
Yeah, you have a call.
Yes. Thank you so very much. At this time, I'd like to open this in prayer. Dr. Chris Brown, would you do us the honor of leading us in prayer, please?
Most eternal God, our Father, once again, we come thanking you for this day. Thank you for the beauty of your glory. Thanking you for Southern University and Agricultural and Mechanical College. Thanking you for our graduates. Bless our board as they make deliberations on the welfare of this university and its system. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Any motion to adopt the agenda? Second, all those opposed? Those on the side, aye. Opposed? We have a special presentation today. First, we have the Southern University Laboratory School Choir, Mr. Ernest Williams, Director. Who will make that presentation? Yes, sir. Dr. Whitfield?
Yes, sir. Could I have the choir members please come forward if they're here? Mr. Williams, do you want to give us a little history of what's going on tonight or something?
Good afternoon. We are the Southern University Laboratory School Choir. In March, we participated in the LMEA District 4 Festival, where we received superior ratings in both the concert performance as well as sight reading, which allowed us to move forward to the state level, the state regional levels. And we participated in that in Lake Charles in April the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. And we received an overall excellent rating in that performance as well. So we are excited about what we've been able to accomplish this year, and we're happy to be here. Thank you.
I wish I could.
On behalf of the Southern University Board of Supervisors, we just want to congratulate you on that certificate. Young ladies and young men, thank you guys for what you all are doing. We really appreciate you. Continue to uplift the school and keep singing, and thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Excuse me. Would you mind introducing the choir? Just first name? Okay. All right.
Okay, so we have Fatia offered. We have Idacia Levine, we have Nyanza Adams, Jolicia Brown, Kennedy Williams, Janicia Cummings, Amani Williams, Mamie Quiet, Trinity Wicker, Hayla Bakari, Kyla Morris, Ada Orima, Jay Sean Whalum, Dakota Day, and Isaiah Rankins.
Thank you very much.
Presentation of the Southern University Laboratory School Boys Track Team by Dr. Belton.
Dr. Whitfield. Dr. Whitfield, will you be so kind as to introduce me?
Again, Southern Lab has continued to excel and do well, and we are all, as the board of supervisors, very proud of you guys. Can Coach Combs and the track team please stand and come on up, come forward. So we did well. We won state and fell short, a little bit short in basketball, but these guys won state. And I've been working with Southern Lab for a while. I think Coach Combs might have about 75 state championships. I can't keep up with him. Coach, could you introduce the players and athletes and talk a little bit about these fine gentlemen that you have with you?
Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank Mrs. Will, interim director, for assisting me in every way she could for us to be successful, as well as the university athletic department. They made it very easy for us to be successful because they worked hand in hand with us. And I really appreciate it, and I know the young men appreciate it too. First, we have Isaiah Rankins. He's a freshman. We have Davis Abraham, a senior. He's been with us for 3 years. He's won state 2 out of 3 years. We have Patrick Green, 2 out of 3 years. And we have Tanoa Alex that come to us from another school, and we did something that was totally amazing. Didn't practice from last month. We went through what we call imagery, and he ran fast. So, and he won state in each event that he participated in. Then we have Doggone Profit, which is to be Jaguar in football, running back, and we all have Lewis James III. And then I know some of the parents are here and some of the grandparents are here. I would like to thank you all because it makes it easy when you have people that support you. And it's a great group of young men, but as you can see that they're being well supported. And I just like to thank everyone for doing that. Now, this year, some of these young men, they won 3 out of 4 state titles. And I was reminding them of that right there, and they said it should have been 4. But it was just a technicality that we messed up by 2 points. But the thing is that it is so great to be a part of Southern University because it's a beacon for us when we go out in the community. And I just love the idea of bringing these young men to the forefront. And for you would have had to be there to see how hard we had won the meet prior to the mile relay. But someone made a comment saying, why are they running so hard? They've already won the meet. There was still something out there, and there was a goal that we wanted to achieve, and that's why we went at it so hard. And this is what we do at Southern Lab. We really believe academically as well as athletically. Put your best foot forward and be very persistent on being consistent. And thank you all. Bye.
Coach Combs, before you stand down, you have some certificates as well. Again, on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of Southern University, we really want to thank you, Coach, for all you have done these many years. If Kimberly Williams is here, Interim Director. Kimberly, stand up, please.
Parents, grandparents, would y'all stand for us as well, please?
Very much. This presentation,
Actually, I'm going higher. Dr. Ellis will introduce the men's basketball team.
Thank you. I'd like Coach David Francis and Matthew Henson to step forward.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Along with men's basketball team. At last month's meeting, we acknowledged the Baton Rouge team, and I saw the excitement in the room about the particular team. I knew we were doing some great things at Susla as well, and so I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge some of the great things that we have done, especially under Coach Francis's leadership. He's been at Susla 16 years, and of those 16 years, he's been Coach of the Year 11. And I just thought that was special. But without, he could only do that without the support of fine coaches like Matt Hines and his basketball team. And this year, one of those young men, D'Angelo McClinton, also won Louisiana Basketball Player of the Year for the Louisiana Association of Basketball Coaches. And so just wanted to acknowledge them today through resolution. And I'd like if Matt or Coach would just introduce the guys.
Good evening. My name is Matthew Hines, assistant coach at Southern University of Shreveport. This is the man, head coach David Francis. He's, as our chancellor said, been coach of the year for 11 years. Out of the 16 years he's been at Southern University of Shreveport. This year we were Miss Lou Conference champions. We had a record of 22-10, and we were the Region 23 semifinalists. And our players are Martavius, Z, Janelle, CP, Tyrone Wire, DJ, and DC. And unfortunately, D'Angelo McClinton couldn't be here because he had prior academic engagements. But we want to thank you so much for this opportunity to come here to Shreveport. Thank you.
And I'd just like to add, as they step away, not only are they good basketball players, they are graduating as well. And D'Angelo actually has a 3.5 and participated in our graduation ceremonies this past week.
Thank you very much, Dallas. We can return to our agenda.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman?
One other presentation, and just hand out for 2 minutes. Can we get the chairman, the president of our alumni foundation to, oh, it's on there? Okay. Well done. I'm sorry, they just gave me this, say this brother's wanted some more recognition. So,
Thank you all very much on this report. We appreciate you coming and visiting with us. And now we can return to our agenda. Item number 5, public comments related to any item on our agenda to be acted on today. Are there any comments at this time?
Sports Hall of Fame. This year we had one of the most fantastic Hall of Fame, which would be considered in the top 2 in the world, not in the United States. And I have one person here who was enshrined. He has a daughter to go pick up at one of the schools, and I'm gonna let him speak a few minutes on how he enjoyed his enshrinement. This young man was not born in the United States, but he did go to school in the local schools. He's from Port of Spain, Trinidad, and his name is Rene Gilks. Rene.
Welcome, and why don't you take advantage of this opportunity, we'll ask you to keep your remarks for brief. Thank you very much.
My name is Raymond Jones. I'm a member of the Southern University in 1964, 1966. I went to Vietnam, served 2 terms in Vietnam in 1966, 67. Returned back to Southern University in 1969 and complete my year over here. And I appreciate the presence right here. Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Granger. Yes, sir. Would you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Dr. Frank Martin. I'm the chair of the Business Administration Department at SUNO, professor of economics, and I'm now professor, the Dolores Spikes Endowed Professor of Entrepreneurship. I've been at SUNO for 32 years. I've served under every chancellor that SUNO has had. And I'd like to say, first of all, Mr. President and the board, I'd like to commend you for your choice of Dr. Lisa Mills Davison as the interim chancellor for SUNO. She is the right person to maintain and build on the great achievements that SUNO has seen under the leadership of Dr. Victor Leopoldo and Dr. David Adeboye as Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs. I speak of achievements in the areas of accreditation, new buildings, housing, ITC, College of Business building, incubator, and meeting the challenges posed by the GRAD Act, to name a few. Besides being a seasoned academic, Dr. Mills Davison is well versed in the ins and outs of accreditation. I believe she can give the leadership needed to continue SUNO's excellent accreditation record, achieved under the leadership of Dr. David Adeboye, who is right now guiding us through our 5th year SACS accreditation. I'm sorry, 5th year interim review. I would like to end by saying this, in my view, I think that it would be good to have a national search for chancellor for SUNO to build that important position at this critical juncture in SUNO's history. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Any further comments? Would you introduce yourself, please?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chester Mills.
Good afternoon, sir.
I am president of Southern University New Orleans Faculty Senate. I'm quite sure that the faculty, students, and staff at Southern University of New Orleans will thank the Board of Supervisors for supporting the nomination by President Chancellor Dr. Belton for Dr. Lisa Mills Davison. And our thanks to Dr. Belton for selecting the first woman chancellor, even though it's interim, since Dr. Dolores Spikes. Dr. Mills was born and raised in this country. As an African American, she knows the history of our people and the history of HBCUs. She knows the history that occurred many years ago, and I'm quite sure Most of you know these names: Emmett Till, Medgar Evers, Plessy versus Ferguson. We, as Black people, were conceived in hatred, born in slavery, raised in segregation, nurtured in discrimination, trapped in a stereotype, trying desperately to work out our way out of poverty. Isaiah 5:13 says, "Therefore my people have led away captive from lack of knowledge. Their nobility die of famine, and their multitude are parched with thirst." Dr. Mims Devison will lead us and give us hope. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please introduce yourself.
Brian Alexander, Student Government Association President, for the University of New Orleans. After that speech, I don't have really nothing to say now. But Dr. Lisa Mims, as a SUNO grad, she understands student needs on SUNO's campus. She also is a team player. She will move SUNO to different levels and all levels for the time that she is interim chancellor. I would like to thank Dr. Ray Belton for recommendations of Dr. Lisa Mims as interim chancellor. She represents SUNO at the Southern System and the Board of Regents level. And she also, as dean at the College of Arts and Science, she fully understands academic processes. Thank you, Dr. Belton, for the recommendation.
Thank you, sir. There's no further public comment. We move on to action item 6A, minutes of the meeting. I have a motion to adopt. Probably move to second. Those in favor, on sign of aye. Those opposed. Action item 6Q, committee report and recommendations. We have one, so moved. Probably move to second. All those in favor, on sign of aye. Those opposed. Action item 6D.
I so move, Mr. President, that we approve this.
Second.
Probably move to second. Question. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? We have action item 6E, approval of distinguished research professor SUBR.
What happened to D?
D? I thought that's one you just,
I moved to.
I thought you just
C.
moved that. We adopted it.
That was C.
I'm sorry, I said D.
I'll start over.
Okay.
I moved that C, appointment of Dr. Upolo as professor of economics. Second.
Probably moved in second. Any question? All those in favor, on sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So ordered. Thank you. One abstention. So ordered. Now we're back to item 6E, approval of distinguished research professor.
D. It's D comes out.
My,
Yeah, previously. Yeah, previously.
yeah, yes, I did. I skipped C.
Yeah, but he still made the motion to see them. The motion was still to see them.
Okay, let's revisit this.
Clarification, I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve D through, I, if it's the will of the body and the chair.
I second.
Been properly moved and seconded that we approve items again, B through I, D and through I.
I have a question on I.
Okay,
Is I on the other? Well, no, I don't. I'm sorry. It's J. I don't have my glasses on. I'm sorry.
Where's Mr. Rogers? You had a chance to get it back, Mr. Rogers.
okay. Motion on the floor. We have a motion to approve all those in favor. B through I, D through I. Those opposed? Now we are at item 6J. Acceptance of donation of artificial turf field. Yes, Your Honor, please.
Jay, are there any conditions to this donation? Or is it an unconditional donation?
I'd like to,
He was trying to leave.
no, I actually would, like, the president of the Southern University Foundation to, address that question.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize we were at item J. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and your colleagues and Mr. President.
Yes.
I don't have a formal presentation for the item, and Al Harrell, who typically would do this, is unfortunately out of town. I'm certainly available to facilitate any questions if there are any.
That was a question.
Okay, what was the question?
The question was,
Let's agree to be nice, okay?
was this an unconditional donation?
I can't imagine why we would place any conditions on the donation other than those that would be consistent with our ability to service the debt associated with paying it off.
I guess the question lacks specificity. Let me try it this way. Are there any financial conditions, not servicing the debt, but in terms of whomever we got the money from to do this, that was it prohibiting
Anyone else from advertising in the stadium, anything of that nature?
No, sir. Let me address it. That's a good question. When Dr. Belton and interim athletic director Banks first approached us about enhancing the surface of the stadium, we in turn, along with them, reached out to Coca-Cola, who has been a longtime partner with the Department of Athletics, and who currently is financing through an annual gift a number of efforts that we have underway about enhancing that, such that we can incorporate this project into it. And so the first point is that this project is going to be undertaken and implemented at zero cost to the university. And I want to thank Coca-Cola as well as Ronald Sutton, who is Southern and well placed there in that company. Other than the signage that is already on the field, which is a reference to True Blue that you see in the corner, I believe that there is a Go Sports. I believe Dr. Belton asked that the SWAC logo be added to the field. I am not, in the current arrangement that we have with Coach, there are no other restrictions that would impede any advertisement in the stadium. Now, that would not, obviously, we wouldn't put Pepsi on the field, okay?
Thank you, sir.
The item, J, we have a motion to pass that motion. Second. Possibly second. Any opposition? Those in favor, no sign of aye. Those opposed? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate the work the foundation is doing on behalf of the university.
Yes, sir. And we believe that the project will be completed by mid-July to give us a 75-day start date. So it's underway and hope that everything's good.
I also just want to express my appreciation to you for exercising the leadership necessary to advance this project. I really think it's going to give indication of our interest to advance a culture of excellence at the university. So I think not only the field, but the message that aligns with the development of such a field as we're going on the way to Southern University. So thank you and members of the board for your diligence.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Action item 6L, 6K, Natalie Ellison settlement agreement, supplement, executive session may be required. Please, Dr. Ellis or Ms. Wood, this is clear?
Yes. My understanding is Ms. Woods has distributed to the board.
I just Yes, we have a summary we would like to present to the board in executive session if need be to discuss the terms. Otherwise, the settlement agreement is posted on the confidential website.
Question,
Yes, sir.
is the administration supporting the recommendation of settling this matter?
Yes, it is.
I so move that we support the recommendation of the administration. Second.
Been properly moved in second. Any questions? Those in favor, let it be known by sign of aye. Those opposed, so have it. Thank you very much. Action item 6L, DA7, request for mid-year budget adjustments.
Yes, I'm gonna ask, if Vice President Landis can offer an explanation or some clarity on that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. This is PA7 for the Southern University Shreveport campus, and it's a part of the grant act. And we are required to present a report to the Board of Regents each quarter. And based on the report being approved, and it has been approved, we are now able to submit the funds to Shreveport. And that's all this action.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved in second. Any questions? Those in favor, let it be known by sign of aye. Those opposed, so have it. Action item 6M, income financial report as of April 12, 16. President.
Mr. Clinton, would you like to elaborate on this as well?
Yes, sir. The report is for as of April 30th, 2016. And you have a report in your packet, and it's for each campus and a summary of the entire system. And all campuses are basically on schedule as of April 30th, 2016. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second. Anyone? Been properly moved in second that we adopt this item. Any questions? Those in favor, let it be known by sign of aye. Those opposed, passes. Item 6N, authorization to resume search for Chancellor of the Southern University Agricultural Research and Extension Center and Dean of College of Agriculture, Mr. President.
Right. Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the board, we simply seek the authorization to resume the search for the Chancellor of the Ag Center and Dean. We have shaped a job description that articulates the responsibilities of that role. We have in place a search committee, and we hope to just reinitiate their work such that they can perform this task. We're actually very optimistic that we can move forward fairly quickly in advancing this search, as is the will of the board, as I understand.
So move.
Second. Been moved in second. Any questions? Questions, Dr. James?
You said we would move pieces.
Yeah.
Could you say in terms of months, timeline?
Yes, well, as you know, we had initiated a search before. We suspended that search, so we already have in place a search committee. We had identified at least 3 candidates who had sought the position of Chancellor, and so we were going to request of them or solicit from them whether or not they would like to be included in this search. I think we have a head start. With your approval, we will immediately reactivate the website and solicit put the announcement out there. So in terms of the month, we're actually hopeful that by July, August, we would have a new chancellor. Thank you.
This was Lawson.
Okay, you probably answered the question. I just didn't want this to turn into another national search. What you're gonna do is probably evaluate what you have now, what you're saying, and then look at making decisions, maybe incorporate. Are you saying you don't afford anybody else an opportunity to come in?
We will.
Apply?
Yes.
But you think you'll have all this budget?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
As a board member, I'm gonna ask and respectfully ask that this committee does a due diligent effort to make sure that they diversify their candidates. I like to see some females in that, somewhere around the final as it relates to this job. So, keep presenting us a bunch of males. I like this Miss Mills lady, whoever's coming here, that's great, but we need to see more females in there.
Yes.
All right, great.
We have a motion on the floor.
I move.
Okay. Second. Any questions? Those in favor, no sign of aye. Opposed? So have it. Action item 6.0, request authorization to search for Suno Chancellor. President.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the board, we are seeking your authorization to initiate the search for the Chancellor of the Southern University New Orleans campus in light of the resignation of Dr. Baker.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Can Ms. Mills apply for this? Is she prohibited from applying because of the interim nature of the job?
Yes, I informed Dr. Devazine that in the event that she chooses to apply for the position, she would have to step down from that.
I want to make a motion that we waive that.
Second.
Thanks.
There's no written requirement on that, but I agree with that sentiment. That we allow to do so. We've also, we've done the same thing for a couple of other searches.
I asked him to just not even make that point of the minutes.
Sure, it is, yeah.
Wouldn't even, be afforded an opportunity. We just went through a search.
Sure.
And he was afforded with us.
Good. I think it's well understood. Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I got one.
Yes, the question.
I want to talk about
Oh, no, wait. Can we finish the vote on this item? Okay, now we're on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I interrupted him, referred to him, then I'll go back to you. Okay, so we're on to the next item of P, the approval evaluation President Chancellor. Yeah, that's what you want. Okay, what's on the before us right now is the approval evaluation instrument for President Chancellor. How do we present?
I actually want to address,
Yes.
Ms. Mills' motion.
No, excuse me. Go on.
I haven't had the opportunity to meet this young lady that everybody is speaking so highly of. Could she possibly step up just for a quick second, introduce yourself, so I know who you are?
Let me give her a nice southern welcome.
President Belton, the board members of the board, and to my Southern University at New Orleans family, as well as the system. I am extremely honored and privileged to stand before you today. For not only am I an alumna of Southern University at New Orleans, but I am a proud daughter and product of the Southern system. And I have been an advocate for Southern University at New Orleans and the Southern system, serving on the Board of Regents since 1993. And I continue to be an advocate for the Southern system. So I want to inform you that I will do everything within my power to continue to work in the effort of what I call a team for not just Southern University at New Orleans, but for the Southern system. Because for me, a team means togetherness empowers all mechanisms. And I want to say that to my Southern University at New Orleans family, to all of you, I will continue to make sure that we work together to keep Southern University at New Orleans as a premier cutting-edge institution that it can, shall, and will remain. Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much. And now back to our agenda. We're on action item P, approval of evaluation instrument for President Chancellor. Question, discussion this time.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, I would like to, and there's no time requirement on it, so I don't guess I'm asking to modify it, but I would ask that we approve this, but delay it for 6 months, and here's my reason. The president has not made a year yet. Took him some time to get his provost on board. Now he has his folks on board. He's the president and the chancellor. So before, and I looked at the instrument, I got little issues with it, but it's neither here nor there. But I asked that we delay this to December to give him some time to make sure that we can watch what he and his provost and the rest of his team have put together. So let's delay evaluating, let's delay the implementation of our evaluation till December because of the due capacity that he's holding.
If I can understand the nature of your motion, it is to approve the adoption of the instrument, but also delay its implementation for 6 months. Is that
That's correct. Yes.
Second on that? Any further questions or comments on that? Chair?
My only concern is what do the bylaws say?
Let them talk.
Yeah, we look alike.
My only concern is I think the bylaws say insofar as the board has to do the president's evaluation. If it does say something, then I think we will need to waive that. We will need to waive that would be hard.
The contract generally provides that he shall be reviewed annually as determined by the board. If the board wants to designate that they want his first full year of data to do the determination, then they could determine that it needs to complete that annual evaluation after the close of his first year.
Which was encompassing in Mr. Davis' motion.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. Any further comment? All those in favor, the normal sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion. Now to resolutions, Mr. President.
Yes. The Florence Aluko family. Mrs. Aluko, a native of Nigeria and a 2011 graduate in rehabilitation and disability studies at SUBR, passed away April 10th. The Betty Lee Allen family. Mrs. Betty Lee Allen, native of New Orleans, Louisiana, and sister of facility service manager Ethel Martin, passed away April 24th. The Joshua J. Petrie Senior family. Mrs. Petrie, a graduate of the Southern University Law Center and attorney in Opelousas, passed away on May 4th. The family of Thaddeus Jones, Mr. Jones, grandson of Mrs. Anna Jones, member of the Southern University Sister Foundation Board of Directors, passed away on May 8th. The Theophilus Banks Jr. family, Mr. Banks, father of SUBR interim director of athletics and head men's basketball coach Roman Banks, passed away on May 11th. And there was also, sir, a board resolution for a federal contract providers. Okay, we are also seeking a resolution that would support contract providers as established by the Southern University Ag and Research Extension Center.
We have a motion to pass on resolutions.
So moved.
Properly moved and seconded. Any questions? Those in favor, the normal sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, yes. I'd like to take this moment because one of our very treasured members of the board is about to leave, and this will be his last board meeting.
Wishful thinking.
I did.
Dr. Giller smiled when you said that.
I'm speaking of our student and board member, Mr. Dominic Down, who graduated today. And in light of the fact that will be his last meeting, I'd like to present this to him on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, but I'd also like to ask him to introduce his parents. I believe they're in the audience. Mr. Diamond, would you like to have some words and also introduce your parents? How y'all doing?
So as you stated, today will be my last board meeting, and the new student will be coming in this month. And I had a nice journey spending this year with you all, serving the student body and serving the system. Y'all made a great impact on my life, seeing the political side and seeing these hardworking people who want the best for the university. And to Mr. Hillard,
the fun has got on the board. I think I had the best seat in the house sitting next to him in board meetings. And to Dr. Talk and to President Belton, I look forward to seeing you all again and serving my institution and giving back to the system.
The hell with the rest of y'all.
Yeah, my mom and dad is here. So I would like for my mom and my dad to stay here.
I think the president wants to address Mr. Downer, would you like to come out front here? Maybe some of the chancellors also.
Yes, parents, join us.
Would you like to join us?
Don't stand on the single.
Wow, blue and gold. All right.
Monday will be with us.
You got a tie. Blue and gold tie. So you gonna leave that behind?
Monday will be with Myron.
Oh, well, you guys are lined up, huh? All right. On behalf of the board of supervisors, we want to give you, this is the token of your service, esteem for your presence, the representation you've given on behalf of the students of the Southern System, and of course, the Baton Rouge campus. We look forward to you continuing as a graduate student and maybe helping us out around this place. So thank you so very much.
Yes,
Let's give them a round of applause. Ask before they present the award, I'd like to ask the mother or father if they'd like to say something.
But speak on behalf of the entirety of the Southern University system. That's the question. I appreciate you for your great service to this board, but equally important for all of our campuses while serving as a voice for the student body. We just like to again offer this small token of our appreciation to you, Mr. Diamond. I do look forward to working with you in months later.
Yes, sir.
Always smiling, man. Always smiling. You gotta leave that smile.
Yes.
Thank you for this.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Maybe mom and dad can help you.
Yes, sir. You too. Yes, sir.
On behalf of Southern University Ag Center, and we are so appreciative of the work that you've done at Southern University Ag Center, for Southern University, and particularly impressed with the work that you did in the community as you deal with voter registration, getting people out to vote, being an active citizen, and all that work you carry on. And we have good results as a result. So on behalf of the Southern Ag Center, thank you. Alicia 100, thank you.
Diamond, congratulations on your graduation today. You and I have some more discussions to have about your future. Yes, sir. And we talked about a lot of different things, but I want to tell you how much the law students have appreciated the fact that people have worked so well with them and all the endeavors that they have had. And we want to provide you with help. I appreciate it. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
Thank you very much for your patience once again. We'll now move on to informational items, beginning with 6A, legislative update. Mr. Braxton Cunningham could not be here. I did receive a text from him while we were in graduation today that the budget bills are still on the table being debated. And as such, we're gonna lose at this moment. I imagine by the time we pick up the newspaper one, we would found some changes to what has been out there publicly. But that's the largest bill. You already know too, Dr. Whitfield, you want to mention something about that, that medical marijuana bill that the league just passed, I understand it's getting the governor's office.
Legislation for medical marijuana did pass. We didn't get everything we wanted. There will be one license, so we will have to work with LSU on that. So the committee, we need to get together soon and figure out that piece. They want to get us together and figure out how we're going to work it out. So that's what it is. This
Sounds like a partnership between two.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. We can do some good things with it. Dr. Brown and I have been talking briefly about it.
I might also want to remind you that the one board bill that has been introduced in both the House and the Senate did not pass the various committees ultimately. So I believe that bill will rest for the balance of this season. There were other bills of a similar nature, but I think in light of the failure of the first bill, the other bills that held in abeyance, I don't believe it likely come up anymore as we watch the session will end on June 6th. We understand that there will be a special legislative session 2 days later. Maybe like that.
Yeah, I want to go back to what Dr.
Phil said in passing. He said there's only one license.
Yes.
So last year there were going to be two licenses, right? Southern and LSU.
Proposal for two, but they only, the bill's only allowed for one.
You see, that's what I think we dropped the ball, Mr. President.
Last year, the bill gave indication that, that Southern and LSU would work in collaboration under the auspices of one license. We have further requested, in light of some question of interest by LSU, we had tried to advance the notion that the state provide two licenses, one for LSU and another for Southern. And Dr. Whitfield is calling to our attention that the bill as passed, they rejected the notion of establishing two licenses, going back to the original bill of one to be working in collaboration with LSU and Southern.
And our principal supporters in the legislation did all that they could do in the circumstances. And I guess anything else we said that would be a topic for that discussion.
Well, I just, my law partner happens to be a state senator.
Right.
And this is the first I knew, but I just kind of wish you guys reach out to us because I guarantee, I don't know how he voted, but I would have been down there on that. Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah, I can tell you that Dr. Whitfield, Dr. Brown, they have been fully engaged in these discussions. And so I think you're well represented, Mr. Clayton, in terms of our concerted effort to ensure that Southern University is in the.
Tony, I will say it was, I'm sorry, nothing, Mark.
I kind of concur. Does this put us on level footing with LSU?
Well, the original bill that was established, it said that these two institutions have to work in collaboration. And so the big holdup in terms of advancing this legislation was one that question, and I think it was a very contentious debate because the issue is whether or not doctors could actually prescribe or write a prescription as opposed to recommended prescription. The sheriff's organization, they rejected and proposed as such, but the original bill actually spoke to the two institutions being required under one license to produce, medical marijuana.
I I guess my question again is,
Okay.
are we on the same footing? Are we on level? Equal footing?
It's a matter of how you match resources. I mean, our resources aren't equal to their resources. However, in the spirit of the legislation, we're both on the same footing in that regard. But depending upon how the Commissioner of Agriculture, who's apparently been the domo over this piece of legislation, has been looking at trying to involve his department in a more regulatory fashion that was not, I think it wasn't envisioned in the first bill.
Because all of us have, and I'm finished with this, all of us have senators. I said that when our consultants came here,
Right.
and I also asked them to keep us posted. I'm disappointed they didn't do that, quite frankly. This is significant enough, I think, of an issue to at least let the board know what's going on rather than hearing. Now, I appreciate not what he's doing all he can do, which is a phenomenal job. But the fact that this is a significant issue and the fact that we didn't know about it, that's what is perplexing.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have because of the last minute nature of how they managed to do this. Again, I say you this, that's an extension of the conversation we can probably have the other time when we have our consultants available.
Dr. Lord, Brian, there was some, Antonio, there was some bill killers in this bill. I testified, and it barely made it on the Senate floor, 8-6, I think, was the vote. Certain diagnoses, post-traumatic stress and glaucoma, we included that, wasn't gonna make it. And they were really trying to switch the wording back so everyone understands. If we recommend medical marijuana, the physicians are safe. If we prescribe it, we are in potential committing something illegally because this is, controlled substance and it's still considered a Schedule I drug. So the deal killers were the diagnoses, whether we could recommend or prescribe, and also more than one license. So any of that was going by train, they were going to try to shoot that down. So those are the deal killers. So I think we got the best we could possibly get. It wouldn't have passed this time without those things. But I know each year we're probably going back, trying to add more diagnoses and change those things. But I think the best we could get was the one license.
Okay, thank you so very much. Next matter is the 6B Grad Act report. Dr. Brown?
Submitted that to members of the board. As a informational item, would it be the interest of the board to get some clarification on that?
What is the status of that bill? No, Grad Act is expiring this session unless there's.
Yeah, they are sunsetting Grad Act. They will do so the end of June. And they will replace it with a formula-based funding model. But the penalties or the conditions that drove the Grad Act will be null and void as of June 30th, 2016.
Thank you. And now to 6C, System President's Report. I believe that's a question for you. Vice Chair.
Yeah, I got one. We'll talk about the athletic. I know we talked several months ago. I thought we had something by now. Thank you. It took place. What I look for that here later. I just want to know what's the whole look process. Why we got it.
But let me say that I really appreciate the patience of the board. I clearly heard you when you gave indication that this board is interested in solidifying in a permanent way the selection of an athletic director. We are currently interviewing potential candidates for such a selection. We're not doing so by way of a public search, but trying to attract individuals to the position. I have to tell you that we ran into some problems in light of perception that the university may not be prepared fiscally to support athletics in light of the fiscal challenges that the state has and publicity that speaks to the instability of institutions of higher ed, including Southern. And the other variable that, so I think that is compromising which we could develop a comprehensive pool of candidates. But we are talking to individuals. We have a schedule of speaking to some additional individuals going forth with regard to their interest in serving in that role. And I should just offer one other point of clarity as we go to this piece, and that is that it is my understanding that we are 2 to 3 months away from completing the NCAA, I guess, completing the unusual data question that the university has been navigating for the last 3 years. And it is my belief that we do need some continuity. Here's not to say that the identification of a permanent AD cannot provide that, but I think it's a sensitive slope which we would want to navigate to ensure that we have some continuity as we finish this matter as relates to the NCAA.
I guess I'm lost. I didn't want to.
Nothing to comment that.
My question, you make me think that, we're not gonna play football. That's why we still here. Athletic director, that's why I'm going to come aboard because that's what I'm thinking you told me, that we might not be able to have any kind of sports. Did I misinterpret that?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
No, I'm saying that.
So again, I want to know when, why haven't we started taking names? I didn't know we was taking names. Why aren't we doing so? I guess not.
Well, I think the board authorized me at the last time this was an action item to engage in a focus search to identify athletic director, and that's what we've been guided by over the last few months.
I want to kind of be clear. You said a few minutes ago about continuity. You saying what we have in place right now or moving forward? Just kind of elaborate a little bit, because I know we've been working along with the NCAA, trying to identify the challenges that we have. We have a system now set in place. And moving forward, you're saying that you need some type of continuity moving forward?
Yes. In terms of the process, there's been a lot of moving pieces as it relates to responding to the NCAA. We're at a point now where ever so recently we provided to the NCAA provided to us a notice of allegations to which we are responding, to which we have responded to. To our credit, the notice of allegations reflect actually our self-report. The next step is to finalize a summary disposition to which have we completed? I think the next step is the summary disposition, and then a hearing that we anticipate will take place within the next 2 months.
Mr. President.
It is that process that I thought we needed some continuity, and maybe Weston to the
Let me comment. Under your leadership, Mr. Fondell, you and the current interim DA have done a stellar job in responding to the NCAA. And as the chair of athletics now, the president has been in constant collaboration, advising me of the current status. He doesn't believe, I believe, at this point in time, for him to change leaders right now would be in our best interest. There's a colloquy, there's a relationship between the NCAA and our current leaders. And I think that's where the president is going with this until we can work ourselves out of this quagmire. So, Mr. Braxton, in terms of bringing in a leader right now, we will have to debrief him. He has his current leaders in place. They're doing a good job. You started it, Mr. Fondell. You should be commended for it. And I think that's where we are. In due time, in collaboration, we'll come back to this board and suggest an athletic director too. But I think we ought to give this administration some time to work these problems out.
That's what I was basically saying.
Ray, now you owe me, Mr. President.
Thank you for that, Attorney Frank. And correctly saying, just moving forward to make sure we have some stability. You have the pieces in place, you have a system in place now that's going to address any upcoming academic concerns that we have. So things are going, even a perception may be there, but we work through a lot of challenges that we've had.
We're definitely trying to build infrastructure to mitigate any postseason bans going forward. So we are actively putting in place infrastructure that would give this board some assurances that we won't be back in this place in a couple of years from now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton. You were very clear.
Submit you my invoice later.
Well, I actually wanted, in your deliberations today, you also selected the new director of the Southern University Lab School. And I wanted Dr. Brown, he was instrumental in facilitating a search committee for the new director. He is here with us today. I wanted you to kind of introduce him and see if he would be so kind as to offer some brief comments to the board.
Yes, Mr. President. When Dr. Harrison left us on family medical leave and then ultimately left the institution, we set up a search committee. It was co-chaired by Dr. Janice Peoples and Dr. Brent Dumas. It had way too many members to represent all the stakeholder groups, parents, alumni, community, and faculty. Even the National Alumni President, President Castile, served on that committee. They recommended 3 candidates that were then vetted, and we came out with the best candidate and selection. He made a huge mistake early in his career by attending the University North in Louisiana, but he was corrected and earned his law degree here at Southern University, in addition to his education degree that he has. He has 2 education degrees and a law degree. He served as principal at 3 schools as well as assistant principal, and kindly accepted our offer to serve as the new director of the Southern University Laboratory School. His name is Mr. Averill Sanders, and he is here with us today. Sanders.
Good afternoon. On behalf of myself and my family, I'd like to thank the board of directors, Dr. Belton, his staff, Dr. Brown, and everyone that participated in the process for selecting me as the new director of the Southern University Laboratory School. I want to say, yes, I did make a different decision early on in my career, but I'd like to say that I'm proud, I'm humbled. To be chosen through such a rigorous process means a lot to me personally. My mother, who couldn't be here today, called me crying because she just knows our journey. And to stand here and represent Southern University in this capacity, to represent the hope and the dreams of those of you that have children at the lab school, to advance your family's hopes and dreams, I humbly and proudly take on that responsibility, and I look forward to working with everyone in the room. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Oh, don't go away. Since you've learned so much in this short period of time, that black and gold that you're wearing, that's a black suit and a gold tie?
No, sir.
Oh,
no, sir.
Next time I see you, you just have a blue and gold one, I feel much better about that. I know you will learn.
Let me say this, I definitely consulted with some Jaguars about my size. Again, I want to show my commitment to yes, I am wearing blue and gold. I realize that I may get in trouble with the Alumni Association from up north, but I'm Southern pays the bills.
It's okay to keep it in the trunk. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. So we move on to our campus reports. I can believe with Dr. DiPolo.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you. First, let me just say to you that Southern University has known us again
Again, had attained another level of accreditation for our college of education, 7-year accreditation with NCAT, which we received last week by the mail. So as I leave this post, I'm living with one of our legacy, which is to have 100% accreditation achievement at the university since 2006 when we got there. It is a major accomplishment on our end. I also want to lend my voice to support for Dr. Mims. I come to know her in 2006 when I got there, and she was introduced to me as a young, intelligent, determined, focused professor. She met all those accolades to the point that when she was associate dean of the college, I was, even though she had a boss, I'm sure, I hope Dr. Makoso, who is our boss at the time, is listening now, even though she had a boss, I was going to her as associate dean to advise me as to what's going on in arts and sciences at that time. She and I have a running joke. I call her, her mother works for us at SUNO too. Whenever I see her and I'm going to walk in the campus, I say, can the real Miss Mims stand up, referring to her mom. But now I got to call you the real Miss Mims, I guess. But I got to seek permission from your mom first. You know, so she's a trooper, and I believe as I step out, she's going to be someone from the next generation who can take this university to the level at which we are moving to. It's always important every time in life, after you achieved taking anything to a certain level, to hand it back on to the next generation. I think this is what's happening now. I am going to be, I'm 10 years now at the university. It's been a long journey, fulfilling one. I'm going to be going on vacation. I hope that Dr. Belton will allow me to go in June sometimes. My faculty senate president always joke whenever he comes back from London about finding the gap, meaning that there's a tool of which he takes to travel from city to city. There's a gap which he has to worry about not to jump into that gap. Well, I'm about to go find out myself now next month. I plan to spend a month in Europe, traveling around, since I've not had a real vacation since I got to Sunos in 2006. So this is a new life for me. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. So thanks very much. This should be, hopefully, Dr. Belton, I hope you allow me this to be my last visit, my last board meeting. Because if you don't allow me to go, I have to come back next month. Hopefully we can talk about this and let me go, allow me to go. So we can I can go on my vacation next month. And then the school will be in good hands. Thanks a lot.
Yes, I would like to take a moment, personal privilege, to thank you for the long, arduous service that you've given of yourself and your family to this university. Coming here first as our vice president for academic affairs at the systems level, and of course, your favorite years at SUNO. In the time that I've known you, I've known a person who has been unstoppable in his quest to bring better judgment, make better decisions, achieve for the university all that you could with the team that you had, the resources that you had, and we appreciate that. So I want to wish you well on behalf of all of us for the service you've given, and we look forward to your return. I know you told me you look forward to going to the classroom, so by the time you kind of clear the spaces out in Europe, you'll be ready to get back here and give your best. Yes, Mr. Clayton.
You know, I too echo the chairman's sentiments. Since you've been chairman, you brought in Secretary Napolitano. You brought in several other secretaries. I'm talking national secretaries. I think you single-handedly should be given credit for the money to rebuild those buildings after Katrina, because you fought hard and the Obama administration respected you and you did that. You did well by us. You and I had some tough times over the 10 years, but you were one hell of a chancellor for SUNO, and I appreciate what you've done.
Thank you. Mr. Lawson.
too had an opportunity to work with this chair, and the first thing that came to mind was fearless. I remember sitting in a governor's office, and the conversation, quite frankly, was to close the campus, and the conversation started. It was a process of how we're going to close that campus. And as a state employee, he showed no fear in stepping up and stepping out to make sure that wasn't going to even be an option that we were going to discuss on that day. He really showed me a lot of his character there. He wasn't putting himself or certainly his career first. He put that campus first. I don't doubt in my mind that his position on that day and since that time has enabled Suno to continue to grow and grow in strength. And it is time for you to take some rest. Time and age of a chancellor existing for 10 years now, or president, Mr. President. I'm not discouraging the other folk on the dais, but the time frame that most of us go for a chancellor is not 10 years anymore. So kudos.
What about for chairman?
10 years for a chairman athletics, not even 2 years. Well, congratulations, Vic. Thank you.
Yes. I want to, Dr. Epole, I want to thank you for all your service to Suno. I had the pleasure of working closely with you, being from New Orleans, but I especially remember the fight that keeps Suno over, that we endured together. And I think, to be honest with you, I really think you don't get enough credit for what you did do at Suno over the last 10 years. You've endured a lot, some harsh criticism, but you withstood it all. I think that's very, very important with your legacy. So thank you for your service. I had no idea this might be the last meeting. I need to say that.
To you. I'm ready to interrupt.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing, and I just gather your gifts, because typically we would like to formally express our appreciation to outgoing chancellor, particularly one who has exercised leadership for as many years as you have on the Suno campus. I have offered some comments in the past, but I would again just express my appreciation for your service. I obviously had the great opportunity and distinction of sitting beside you for many of those years. And so I can appreciate your passion and your commitment to Southern University of New Orleans. And I want to as well submit to you that I wish you the best as you go back to embrace your role as professor, at that institution. So the very best. And while I'm speaking, Mr. Chair, I just want to again formally give indication of my support and my which I look forward to working with Dr. Mills over this interim period. We had some good engagement over the last couple of days, and I think she's going to really step into that role to again advance the interests of students. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so very much. Now I'd like to ask Dr. Ellis, who is Chancellor from Chancellor, give us a campus report. Or is that too early?
No, we're fine. Just want to acknowledge that our report is enclosed in the board packet. However, would like to acknowledge once again Richard Hilliard and Calvin Brack for attendance at our commencement exercise last week that featured as commencement speaker Dr. Bernice King.
Thank you very much. Any more questions, Dr. Ellis? Dr. Brown?
Good afternoon. Thank you. I just want to let you know that the Southern University Ag Center is doing well. You have a report that's been presented to you that's fairly comprehensive. It speaks to much of the volume, and the report speaks to much of our youth work coincides with the academic year for school. So you'll see a lot of graduations program as we work with youth throughout the state of Louisiana. You see that our faculty is moving into national and international ranks, being well recognized as editors, employees of boards, and other kind of important
academic entities, and that we're doing well. So appreciate it very much.
Good afternoon. We have our report. I also wanted to add, I wanted to appreciate the presence of Mr. Braxton and Reverend Henry for the commencement we had last Saturday. Governor John Bell spoke both here at Boston and in New Orleans. And I wanted to thank Mr. Clayton for supporting an effort that we just concluded this week at the National Institute of Trial Advocacy, where we helped 32 public service attorneys who represent low-income folks learn better skills in trial from Southeast Louisiana Legal Services, Southwest Louisiana Legal Services, North Louisiana Legal Services, and other agencies that do that, as well as 16 of our law students who are going to be representing in clinical operations, which are going to be very, very important for them and their development over the years. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. That would complete our campus report. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were speaking first. I'm sorry.
Only three quick things from Southern University Baton Rouge. Our report is enclosed. One, to just highlight that our Honda Campus All-Star Challenge team did extremely well this year, made it all the way to the semifinals, almost to the finals, and brought back $120,500 for their academic performance there. Second, there was a very short young lady who graduated today that may have been missed and did not make our campus report. Her name is Miss Nasambi Roberts. She is a chemistry major, undergrad in mathematics with a 3.92. She was commissioned in the Navy on today. On October 29th, she interviewed at the Pentagon with Admiral James Caldwell, and she was selected as the first African-American female in the history of our nation to serve on a nuclear submarine. She will be in nuclear propulsion submarine training school beginning this month. And so that's a huge accomplishment for her and Southern University. Finally, the faculty are the heart of any university, and they did recently complete their faculty senate elections. So we have a shift in leadership. Kamran Abdullahi is the parliamentarian. Rachel Vincent Finley is the treasurer. Patrick Mensah is the secretary. Jacqueline Jacobs is the vice president. And not that we don't love Thomas Miller, we hate to see him go, but our new faculty senate president is Dr. Nigel Gui, who should be here. Could you stand so that they might see who you are? That concludes our campus report.
So we don't have to deal with Miller no more?
That works both ways.
I think the president does want to offer a special recognition to Dr. Belton.
Yes, I'd just like to offer congratulations to one who, over the last 20 years, on days like this, the day of commencement, she had historically been working within the university community to facilitate that great event. On today, however, she was a part of the event. And in light of that, I'd like to recognize Dr. Robin Merritt, who today was recognized with the Doctor of Philosophy degree from the School of Public Policy. If you would join me in recognizing
Ain't it work nothing in about an hour.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I have 5 children that DNA have put me in charge of, 4 of whom walked across this stage, the 4th one today, and I have a 14-year-old at home and I hope he walks across the stage, but a lot of my money has gone through the doors of Southern University. So, my second oldest baby graduated today.
That's enough DNA.
Is there any other business?
I so moved.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, that's a question. Yes, Ms. Wood.
Just a reminder that your financial disclosures are due, on Monday by 5 o'clock. You have an extra day this year because the 15th is on a Sunday. So if you do need to, you need any assistance from me, please let me know and I'll make sure that you get your disclosures in on Monday.
They made me pay $1,500 for being late.
Wow.
$1,500.
Thank you so very much. Now, in fact, we just suggest that you follow that up with an email to us. That's it. Yes, sir.
Chairman, Tony and Myers, y'all look a little salty. That's where I want to do. But I do have some good information for you.
Something about the glaucoma.
Everybody go come for
Recommendation.
As the bill as it reads, and it was sent back for some amendments, but the bill to pass, they want to add medical research to that bill. Prior to September 1st, 2016, the Louisiana State University Ag Center and Southern Ag Centers shall provide written notice to the Commissioner of Ag and Forestry of their intent to be licensed as a production facility, either separately or jointly.
Thank you.
So we do have that option. So y'all calm down.
Appreciate you. We all right now, Mr.
Get our report straight.
You work pretty quick that.
Pretty salty.
Okay, fine. If there's nothing, I thought I heard a motion going. And now will we be regathering?
You invite us over to your house. You the president. Can we go over there?
Thank you very much.